Did you know that the Bible used to not actually be in the tongue of the common people? So, for example, with us, we're English speakers, and the Bible was not actually in the English language. And partly through church history, this was because the Catholic Church didn't want the power and the knowledge of the scriptures to be in the hands of the people. They felt that the power should be reserved in the church. And that's not true of the Catholic Church today, but that was the ancient corruption of the Catholic Church that existed in the Middle Ages. Well, that began to be challenged in the 1500s, and you began to see people like Martin Luther coming to the front. But a man who we don't always know in church history, William Tyndale, also was one of those people. And his conviction was that just like Luther, the Bible should be translated into the common tongue, which for him living in England was the English language. So Tyndale was the first person really to be translating the Bible, and the New Testament particularly, into the English tongue. And this was a dangerous thing to do. And so he had to actually eventually flee England. But before he did, he was once challenged by a bishop in the Catholic Church who said, "What do you think you're doing? Why are you trying to do this?" And he said, "My goal is that the plowboy on the fields of England will know the Bible better than you. And I defy the Pope to do so." And so that was the conviction of William Tyndale, was to do that. And he fled and went into Europe, and he spent the rest of his life translating the New Testament and parts of the Old Testament and then distributing it and getting it printed so that the average English person could have this Bible smuggled in and they would know for themselves what the Bible would say. Not a priest who was giving a Latin mass, but the physical scriptures were now readable and available, and it informed the people. Why is this important for us? Well, if people spent their lives, risked their lives to make these scriptures available to us, shouldn't we treasure them because of the great cost and risk that people underwent to make these scriptures available to us? And so in that same way, we should, just like we see the right to vote and we say, oh, people spent their lives to give us that right. In the same way, people spent their lives to give us the right to be able to read the scriptures in the common tongue. And we should treasure it and understand how much of a privilege it is, because not everyone in the world has that available to them. So today, when you open your Bibles, just remember this cost someone to make it available to me.